Hi, what's up, friends and online family? It's Philip Allen coming to you from beautiful downtown Toronto. And today I just wanted to have a quick look at the Now Lifestyle Autoresponder. I've been getting some questions from people as they're joining. What do we do next? Well, the first stage, once you've got your setup, you've got your Now body, your autoresponder, or either one, or the mix of the two. The next stage is obviously is to try and recruit some people, and in order to do that, you need to drive traffic to one of the squeeze pages, which you'll see under the reseller tools. I'm not going to go through that right now, but when you do that, you need those people to go somewhere. So that's what the lead capture system and the autoresponder are for. Now, the lead capture system is handy specifically for Now Lifestyle because it will not only send out any follow-up series that you have in place, it will also send some mail from headquarters. So anything that Joel Terrian sends out on a daily basis will go through that lead capture system. However, if you are in several business opportunities, or you're looking to expand into other business opportunities, more than one stream of income, which is obviously a wise and beneficial thing to do, then the standalone autoresponder is key here, because obviously you don't want to be promoting a different opportunity, and all of a sudden those people be getting emails from Joel Terrian when it's nothing to do with what you're promoting. So the beauty here is it's at $24.95 for 5,000 leads. It's a good price. It's cheaper than Aweber and GetResponse, and on top of that, and a good reason for a lot of internet marketers wanting to jump on board is, aside from the massive commissions that are being paid out, is that Joel has masses and masses of server space, and he also owns a ton of IPs. And when you own both your own servers and your own IPs, you're in charge of the keys to the kingdom there. You can make sure that your autoresponder is squeaky clean, and when you have a clean house, then you have a high reputation. And high reputation is key amongst the likes of Gmail and Yahoo, those people that are going to be receiving the emails that you send out, in the sense that they're going to pass through the spam traps, because you're not going to be blacklisted for a particular IP. And it's not just a case of getting into the email box, it's actually getting into the inbox. You look at Gmail, for example, it has 3 or 4 tabs that most people use. Like, for example, I use 2. One is the inbox, 4. One is the inbox. 2 is for social, so Facebook and the like. 3 is for promotions, and 4 is for updates. So on some days, I might get over 100 emails. I might get 50 emails in social, 50 emails in the promotions, 20 emails in the updates, but I may only get 10 to 20 emails in my inbox. Now, clearly, if you're checking your emails all day, then it's not a big deal. But if you're checking your emails, a couple of times a day, then you're not going to sit there and sort through 100 emails if they were all in your inbox. So many people just leave that sort of promotions tab and the updates tab and the social tab to maybe once or twice a week. Now, if you think about it from a business perspective, where your business is marketing and email, you want to get your presentations, your emails, your content in front of your consumer in a timely manner. For example, a critical one would be webinars. If you're trying to send out an invitation to a webinar that's happening in 2 or 3 days' time, and it goes into a promotions tab, or it goes into the social tab, and that person is only looking at those things once a week, you're going to miss your webinar unless you just luck out and you happen to be the day that they're looking. But also, if you're looking through 200-300 emails, you're just going to go, no, delete, bin, right? It's like you're looking at the headlines and seeing if there's something catches your eye, and so you've got a far smaller potential of being seen and opened if you're in one of those other 3 boxes. In the inbox, you've got a really good chance of getting seen. Whether you get open or not is up to your headline and how effective your targeting is in that. If you have an appealing headline, then you've got a pretty high chance of getting inboxed and opened. Now, in a sort of a direct comparison, I've noticed, recently Aweber and also Sendlane. Sendlane is a better one, and GetResponse. The open rates have been sort of steadily declining over recent months, and that could be due to the fact that those companies are a little sort of more cautious on the sort of network marketing, internet marketing space, and you can even get your accounts sort of shut down and banned with little explanation. Whereas obviously here you've got Joel is an 18-year veteran internet marketer, and he's more conscious of the sort of the game that's going on. He knows that there's going to be promotions and what have you going through. Obviously, if it's a dodgy marketer, he's not going to stand for that. But he's a little more tolerant. He's not just going to shut you down just for having a couple of things in a spam trap. He's just going to check your emails, have a chat with you, and what have you. But he's going to give you second and third chances. Now, just have a quick look. I'm not going to go through every detail. I'm just going to sort of just give you sort of a high level gloss over this. As I say, the reseller tools, you're going to have your capture pages. The Now Lifestyle, you can use just exclusively the lead capture. However, you want the autoresponder because that's where you get the binary payout, and also, as I say, you can use it for your own personalized mail to other biz ops as well as NLS. I'm actually going to be using the autoresponder for NLS too, because I'm using other companies. For example, I'm integrating with Online Sales Pro so that I can use some of their capture pages and functionality in combination with the Now Lifestyle, just in my marketing strategy. So, for example, if you look at campaigns, stats, list, and add campaigns. Well, stats, it gives you comprehensive numbers of your open rates, how many emails you sent out, and the like. And list is a list of all those different campaigns. So you may have, for example, I have a campaign for each of my different capture pages. I have campaigns which have targeting on them, so I know where my audience is coming from. It's handy to know which avenues of advertising are paying off, because then you can scale those up, and which are not doing so well, because then you can scale them back or cut them off. Obviously, add campaign, and that's where you add each individual one. And you'll notice as I flick through these, there's a video on every one of these tabs, and it's like a 2 to 3 minute video, pretty brief, just describing how you use that specific tab. So how you would add a campaign, you click and watch this video. Now, a lot of people have sort of come and ask questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? And it's apparent that these videos aren't necessarily being watched. So if you have a question about how to add a campaign, I suggest you first watch the video, and if you're still a bit confused after watching it a couple of times, then come and ask and get some help. There's the support up here, which will give you the support and guidance, but there's also the team which can answer those questions pretty quickly. And so if you go to our group chat, then you can get those things answered. So adding a campaign, clearly you're going to put a from name. Now that could be your name, but when you're writing an email, that's going to have your own personal branding in there. So instead of perhaps putting Philip Allen here, you might want to put, say, Now Lifestyle. So as you can see, which is what I do, because then what that's doing is it's showing you Now Lifestyle. Someone who's just signed into Now Lifestyle is going to be expecting email from Now Lifestyle. They're not necessarily expecting email from Philip Allen. So until you've branded yourself within your emails, it's a good idea to sort of draw attention to something that they're familiar with, something that they're expecting. So that's just a little tip there. You can put your name there, but again, if you put some sort of like little marks here, it just basically helps it to stand out in your inbox. One thing that I will caution on, though, is spam traps do pick up on these things, and if you're using one of the other companies like Aweber and the like, you don't want to have more than 3 pieces of punctuation. And this is an example of what I'm talking about. If I were to put that Now Lifestyle and I run it through Aweber, it's sort of potentially going to hit some red flags, because Gmail, Yahoo, and those guys that are receiving email will be looking for things like the double dots there. They'll be looking for that. That's something that it's a red flag to them. So it may get you ending up in a spam trap. And so obviously you've got your reply to email and your notification email. The reply to email is where if someone wants to respond to you, then they would end up hitting the respond button and you would receive that email there. And the notification email, that's basically if you want to be notified every time you have a sign up. So that's quite exciting when you've got just a few of them coming in. I guess it could be a bit tedious if you had 1,000 of these digging into your email every day. But obviously when you're starting, you want to get that sort of like that motivation. Oh, I've got a new sign up or what have you. Company name, that's again for branding purposes. So if you've actually got a company, you can stick your company name in there, or you could stick your own name in there, or you could leave it blank. And this website URL, that's used for when you send out an email to or sort of drive traffic to a capture page. Unless there's a funnel already set up associated with that capture page, then they'll just sort of hang there, having filled in their name and what have you, will just sort of stick on the screen. So you obviously don't want that to happen. So what you'll have here is you either have a double opt-in and thank you page gets sent out, or you actually send them on to the next thing. So for example, here I've got an online sales pro, the second page here. So I've got the capture pages on try 1, and then on try 2 I've got my video that I want them to watch afterwards. So they sign in, their email comes into my list, and then they go to try 2. So that's creating a funnel out of two separate web pages. So you can use that to sort of piece together like just a basic sales funnel. Global fields and custom fields. This is when you're wanting to add things like telephone numbers and things like that. Right now I'm just collecting email addresses, and sometimes I collect names. Depends. But what you really want is for them to fill out the capture form or the squeeze page. And if you put down too much information, if you make, for example, name and telephone number mandatory, then you're going to get less signups. Whereas, people are quite happy just to give you an email address. It's less personal, and it's until there's that sort of like strong know, like, and trust, they're sort of wary about giving you too much personal information. Automation rules. This is quite a nifty function. It's functionality that's in most autoresponders these days, the newer ones anyway. And what that enables you to do is, if, for example, you've got people going into one list, and that's got a follow-up sequence of maybe 10 emails, so you've got a couple of weeks worth of follow-up there, and then if there's a response that you particularly want is triggered, you can actually shift them over onto another page. And in this automation here, you don't want to necessarily leave them on 2 lists or 3 lists at the same time, so they're receiving a lot of email from you from the same, for example, the Now Lifestyle in the double colons. If they're getting Now Lifestyle, Now Lifestyle, Now Lifestyle every day, they're getting 3 emails, and it could be all at the same time. They're going to think, okay, I'm being spammed here. It's just too much. Whereas if you had, say, one coming from Now Lifestyle, one coming from, Exercise Daily, one coming from, Philip Allen, or Work with Philip, or Grow with Philip, then, they're going to say, oh, well, I signed up to Grow with Philip, I signed up to the fitness one, and I signed up to Now Lifestyle. So if they get 3 emails from 3 different lists that have different from names, that's not so bad. But, if you're using a series of lists to categorize people, and you want to move them from one list to another, then you want to take them off. So it's here, unsubscribe from current campaign, and unsubscribe from here. So it's like, it's a tandem thing, or unsubscribe from current campaign when they subscribe to the next campaign. So you may have a second capture page somewhere along the line. So, for example, if you were using Online Sales Pro, you could say, okay, join Online Sales Pro. And so they come in, they do that, and they go through the sequence there, and eventually they've signed up, and they've sort of they're running that product, and then in the sequence of emails that's coming afterwards, they say, and by the way, you know, this goes really well with Now Lifestyle. So then someone clicks on the Now Lifestyle button, and then they're into another capture page, and then in that capture page they're into the details again, and boom, they've switched lists. So you don't need to email them about the Online Sales Pro anymore, because they've already completed the functionality of that list. They've joined your team there, and you know, they're learning how to inbox and send mails properly, and market really well, and as a result of that, they've also come along and joined your secondary, which is your primary offer over here, which is the Now Lifestyle. So you've now got them on the Now Lifestyle list, and you've taken them off the Online Sales Pro list. And, you know, subscribe to current campaign when you unsubscribe from another one. So it's just the flip side to that. So it enables you to keep sort of a clean house. And also, you know, when you've got lots of people coming in and out, you don't want to have 500 people on 10 lists, because that's your 5,000 people. So you've really only got 500 names. What you want to do is have 5,000 names. So you want to keep a fairly tight ship in your organizational structure here. You don't want to have them on too many lists. Unless you're going to use those lists for, say, an e-com or something like that, where you're actually potentially going to be selling that list because the list belongs to the store. But when you're using it just for your own personal marketing, you know, obviously you want to keep your costs down. You know, it's only $25 a month for 5,000 names, but you know, when you start getting up there, you've got, you know, 10,000, 20,000 names, the price increases. So if you've got 10,000 names that aren't really 10,000, it's 1,000 names on 10 lists. You know, you don't want to be paying, you know, double for a fifth of what you actually have. And then you've got ad tracking. This is useful, as I say, if you're trying to say, okay, I'm going through Facebook here. I want to know anybody who comes in through Facebook. I'm going through this squeeze page. I want to go anybody who comes through that squeeze page, so you can see which advertising avenues are working well, and you can scale those to the moon, and the other ones you can just leave, you know, off to the side and pay less attention or shut them off. You know, obviously if something's providing you with leads, then there's no harm in keeping it going. But if it's something that's a paid ad, you know, you don't want to be paying $2 for a lead when you can be getting them somewhere else for 25 cents a lead. So, you know, you want to keep a track of your numbers. That's key. Always know your numbers, because, you know, when you're doing, especially when you're doing e-com, you may be selling a T-shirt for $15 plus shipping, but if you've got advertising costs of $10, you know, you're going to be losing money. So you want to make sure you know what's going on here. Same here. You want to know how much it's costing to get each lead and how much you're making. So when you look at it, if you think about it, you know, you're making $12.50 for one lead and an autoresponder. Well, that means you can spend $12.50 in advertising to get that one lead. You don't make any money on the autoresponder, but you're making money on the follow-up. You're making money if they upgrade to the university, or you're making money if they go for your Now Body. You don't look at you know, at the upfront cost as being a total barrier. Like, you know, someone like Russell Brunson, say, you know, he would say, okay, well, this is my front end offer, the autoresponder. I know that if I put someone into the autoresponder, I'm going to have a lifetime value of maybe $75. So he's going to say, well, you know, I'm happy to pay $35. Well, up front, he pays $35. He gets $12.50 back in right away. So he's losing money. But he knows that that person has got a 40% chance of buying the Now Body and a 20% chance of upgrading to the Now Lifestyle University, and he's going to make some money. So overall, he knows that each person that comes through is worth $75. So he's happy to pay $35 because he knows he's going to make $70. So it's, you know, $1 in, $2 out. So it's just then, you know, you can scale through the moon, because you know, okay, I can get somebody in for $35, and it doesn't really matter. Yes, I'm losing money on some people, but I'm making money on other people, and I know my numbers. Again, that's why it's key to know your numbers. So that's where the tracking comes in. Complaints. This is kind of an interesting function. I've never really seen anybody show you their complaints. You know that you had a complaint, but you don't know why. But here, you know you've had a spam complaint and an FBL complaint. So Joel is actually showing you what the complaints are. And the good thing there is, you know, if you're getting complaints for something, You can go and either cut that particular thing off, or you can sort out the issue and get everything running smoothly again. So that's the campaigns. Messages, this is your follow-up series. So everything should have a follow-up series. At bare minimum, you should have 3 emails. So if you look at follow-up, it'll show you each of your lists. So here, for example, on this OSP trifecta, I have 4 emails set right now. So this is a new one with my OSP that I've just set up. So I've got congrats, thanks for checking in. Here's the secret, but really, what's the secret sauce and how's it going? So that's just an initial sequence that I set up yesterday. I haven't run any traffic to it yet, but it's just getting prepared is key. So it's a little bit every day. Get these things set up. It's actually not too bad once you set up one, because what you can do is you can copy a basic welcome and thank you page from one list to another. So say you've got 5 lists set up, you can go into your follow-up message, and so here I am, grow with Philip. There's my little girl. She's now a little bit bigger. She's 6 years old now. But so hi, hey, Philip here. Grow with Philip is my sort of headline, and then I've got my message here. Here's the secret sauce, what have you. Now you need to copy that message down into the text message, because some people don't have HTML in their email. So you're going to inbox with this message instead of this message. So that's just basic in all autoresponders. It doesn't mean SMS text message. It actually means a non-HTML message. So this isn't going to have any pictures. It's also not going to have any links in it. So you've got to be careful there. You've got to where it says insert link. Any links that you've got. So I've got a grow with Philip here. I've got a couple of links down here. So from possible to impossible and watch this demo, those links have to be put in here and linked in. And what will happen is the autoresponder will put in some coding here. It's not going to be just a nice easy link. It's going to be 2 or 3 lines. Let me see if it's in here. It should be here. You'll see, where is it? There. So you're going to get this piece of funky looking text here, which is just it's the equivalent of having one of these links. So instead of having a nice clean watch this demo, they're going to click on this link here, so that they're not getting an HTTP link. They're getting, I'm not sure actually what they get, to be honest. So maybe it does show up as an HTTP link, but it's coded like this so that they get the proper information. Anyhow, so it's key to get those follow-up messages. And as I was saying, it's once you've got that first one set up, then what you can do is you can open up two different tabs and have this one, as I say, is the trifecta one. And I can take the trifecta message. If I just want a basic welcome, I can take the source code here. This is what this little button here does, and I can just copy this source code across. So if I just do Control or whatever command it is on Apple, I think it's just the command button, and I copy that. And now I go into my second page, which hasn't got any messages yet, and I can just go straight to this button again, click it, and there'll be a blank screen there, and then I just paste it in. So I have 2 screens open. I have the one with the message in and the one that needs the message, and instead of having to go through and retype this out or copy and paste it, and sort of like have to fiddle with the links, and sometimes the links don't go in properly and what have you. Once you know you've got one correctly set up and you've tested that message, then you can just copy the HTML code across. And obviously don't forget to do the bottom one. And again here, instead of having to stick in your codes here, you can just again Control All, copy that and copy that across. So you've got both messages done, and then you edit. Don't forget to put in your subject line. Now, if you don't put the subject line, it's not going to let you do it anyway. It'll just come up here. There'll be a little red message saying you have to have a subject line. That's the beauty of this sort of thing. Is if you do something wrong, it's pretty sturdy. It'll tell you that you've got something wrong. It's not going to leave you hanging there with a mistake. So this 0 here, that's just to send a message immediately once someone subscribes, and then if you want them to get a follow-up, you would just leave that as a 1, and what's going to happen is it's going to be 1 day after a message, 1 day after a message. So each message will have a 1, unless you want to have a 2-day break, but I recommend, as most marketers do, at least email marketers, some marketers recommend hitting your list up a couple of times a week if you're doing e-com, but if you're an email marketer, you want to hit your list up, not necessarily with a promotion, but hit them up every day, at least once, maybe twice. if you've got a webinar coming up, you might hit them up 3 hours before, 2 hours before, 1 hour before, and we've started now. So you're hitting them 4 emails in a 3 hour span. Now, you might think, oh, that's going to agitate people, and it may agitate some people, and those people aren't the people that you want on your list because they're not really interested in starting a business. They're not interested in that webinar anyway. So, you know, it's a certain amount of room you've got on a list. You don't want tire kickers. You don't want people just to be on your list for being on your list. Having a list of 10,000 unresponsive people is not as good as having a list of 500 responsive people, or even 100 responsive people. You know, with 100 responsive people, you could be making $200, $300, $400 a month. You could have 10,000 unresponsive people and make no money. So, you know, it's a relative thing. Now, having said all that, basically, that's just an easy way to transfer the information from. So, say you set up 5 different lists for 5 different campaigns, you can just transfer that. Not all the messages necessarily, but you know, the welcome message and sort of like some content messages and hey, how are you doing? Now, what you want to do is you want to set up, you know, 3 to 8 emails to go into your autoresponder. Why is that? You want to start creating that know, like, and trust. You want to brand yourself. You want your consumer to get to expect your emails, to know what it looks like when you're coming to them on a daily basis. They're saying, oh, it's this Grow with Philip guy again. Oh, you know, he sends some interesting content every couple of days. You know, I want to open that because you know people are looking for free stuff as well as for opportunities. So you don't want to hit them with a, you know, here's an opportunity, here's an opportunity, here's an opportunity. You want to hit them with a couple of hits of content and value, and then an opportunity. A couple of hits of value, then another opportunity. If you look at Russell Brunson, for example, he had his sort of a golden sequence, I think he called it, and he would have sort of he'd have a 7-day cycle where you'd have content, first hit, content, second hit, and then content, final hit, and then rotate onto the next product. Content, promotion, content, promotion, content, promotion. So he'd go in weekly cycles, and you look at the likes of Alex Segal and all those big email marketers. You know, I'm talking about 8- and 9-figure marketers here. These are the big boys. Those guys, you know, they have a plan and a schedule for how and when they're going to send out to each particular offer, each particular niche, so that you're keeping your list engaged. You want to keep fresh content. You don't just want to be sending health. You might want to send something else that'll sort of like shock them back into reality. It's like, you know, they get lulled into sort of a sense of boredom. You want to throw some spice in the pot just to keep them active for a longer period of time. And you know, if you do that, if you mix in some personality along with promotion, you're going to have a happy, responsive list, and you're going to have people that could stay on your list for years and years and years. I mean, you know, I've talked to some people who've had, you know, 80% of their list has been, you know, opening 1 or 2 mails a month for 10 years, and you know, and they're averaging $3 per name on their list per month. So you know, as you can imagine, that's a sizable amount. So you have that follow-up. You add the follow-up, as I say here. Once you've added the follow-up into one list, as I recommend, you copy the sort of like the pertinent ones over, and then you add some other ones in there, and you just gradually flesh it out. Get a good 3 up and running to sort of a welcome, sort of like, you know, introduce yourself and do you need any help kind of thing, how's it going, and then throw in the sort of like okay, now you've bought your reseller's license, why don't you get starting to promote the autoresponder and your now body, and here's how, and if you need any help, hit me up on Facebook, blah blah blah. And then, you know, another piece of content, and then hit them up with okay, now you're up and running, but you're missing 90% of the money's being left on the table, and you can introduce them to the Now Lifestyle University. And so you walk them through the ascension from the introductory front-end product, which is the autoresponder and the Now Body. Like, clearly the Now Body is the cheapest product here. It's $100 per year. And then you've got the autoresponder, which is $25 a month. Now, that, as I said before, it's cheaper than you're going to be paying for an AWeber for 5,000 names. And also, you're going to be getting a 50% commission, which is way more than AWeber, plus you've got the binary. So, all in all, I think it's a 90% commission you're getting on that autoresponder when you consider the cycles and what have you. So, that's a no-brainer there. Your body, if you need some fitness or some toning up or whatever, it's a no-brainer too. You get up to 5 family members can have their own private account. So those two products, they're priced at a super low price just to get everybody in, and then you want to try ascend your customers. So you're ascending them to the now university price points, and I've got a separate video that covers that. But once you've done that, once you've gone through that ascension model, you're going to want to be able to do broadcast. Now, this isn't necessarily with your lead capture system in NLS, but if you've got another program, or the people, which is why I like the autoresponder, the people that are on your list, they could be from Now Lifestyle, or it could be from another program. But you could be broadcasting, CPA offers or good content, and it's just like keeping that list happy and keeping it producing money. And you're actually going to receive the bulk of that money that you get on a monthly basis from it's not quite the 80-20 rule. It's like, you're going to have 20% of your list is creating 80% of the money. But when you look at it on an individual mailing basis, it could be 2 or 3% on a high ticket item is creating your entire income for that month, because you could be selling a $5,000 product. Obviously, not that many people are going to buy, but those that do buy is what's giving you that average of $3 per month. Now, for a new marketer, you want to be expecting between 50 cents and $1 per month per person on your list. Is the sort of the benchmark. But the broadcast is the thing that you're going to be sending on a daily basis. You don't really want to be sending that broadcast out necessarily to your new people on the list, because they're just getting to know, like, and trust you. But once people have come off that list, you want to use that the functionality here, which is the automation rules, to switch them off. That get to know your list and onto a positioning list. So this is your list of buyers here. This is your list of tire kickers here that you may want to prune out from time to time. And this is your list of people who are, they're just testing the waters. They've bought the front end product, but they're not the ascension people. Your ascension people, you want to keep on a separate list, because, they're people who've taken out their wallet 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. They're buyers. And so if you've got other products and other email marketing campaigns that you want to run, that's a perfect place to send it to right there, because you've got good buyers. You want to take care of that list, number one. You want to take care of your newbie friendly and your not the tire kickers, the ones that are looking at they maybe bought these 2 or 1 of these, and they're new to internet marketing, and you want to treat these guys with a lot of respect, because these guys are going to move over onto your buyers list. These are the ones that they need a little bit of hand holding, and so the content is key in that situation, just to get them up and running so that they feel comfortable, start making money, and then they're gonna look to you. So, okay, I've got this sorted out now. What do I do next? And then you say, oh, well, we move on to the university, because you can point out, look, you brought in 10 people, and you're making $200 because you've got the autoresponder and now body, you're getting the matching and you're getting the binary, but you've had 3 university sales pass you by, so you've lost $1,200. And it's like, oh my god, I've lost $1,200. They're going to buy that pretty fast, because you're not going to want to miss that kind of big ticket item going past up to your upline. So you've got to take care of those lists. Anyway, getting back to just going through the autoresponder though, so that broadcast is going to be sort of segregated to those three lists. The tire kickers, you can send almost anything to those guys, because they don't open the mail that often, and so you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know, there could be 2,000 people on that list, and it could just be that they're not interested in health, or they're not interested in network marketing, but they are interested in car insurance. So you could send them a CPA where you're getting maybe $15, $20, $30 per sign up, and that list may be perfect for that. You could do, Motor Clubs of America, something like that, and that list could be perfect for that. So don't disrespect any one of your lists. Just make sure that you know your numbers and you know who your buyers are, who your learners are, and who the list. These people are clickers, and clicking can make you money too. So just be aware of those. And again, that's what the broadcasts are for. So the send the broadcast is where you do that. You set up your message here. The opt-in messages, that's where you're sending the first initial email. So when you want a double opt-in, that's your opt-in message. So it's like, welcome to my list. Please confirm. Go check your inbox, and that's where you set that up there. Subscribers, this is where you would find your subscribers. Each of those lists for your campaign, each campaign list has a subscriber list. So anybody who goes into my trifecta list goes into a trifecta list down here. So one other thing that I mentioned above was the when you wanted to share with other people. If you were looking into your list of campaigns, you can see here, this is your private campaign. This is a shared campaign where you're the owner and you are the user of a shared campaign. So for example, if we were to look at the trifecta one again, if you look at the bottom here, where your company setting, and I've got the company name here, and right here you would have a share code. So it's a shared campaign, and you would generate a share code that you can share with your group, and when you do that, then they just have to stick in that code, and then they would have the series of follow-up. It went with this particular campaign, which is a great feature. So if you for example have a fast expanding group of people, and they're all newbies, and they're coming to you all the time, well, how do I do this, how do I do this, what do I send out, what do I send out, you can create a campaign that is for your group and send them a series of follow-ups for that specific campaign. Now what I do advise there is when you're the recipient of that, and so to advise your people, don't just send it out as is. Take that list of emails and go into you click on the follow-up button, you click on the edit button here, and then you'd say, okay, this is what, say Daniel, send me a follow-up sequence. I would take the sequence, I'd stick in my photo here, I may tweak the body a little bit, and I'd send in my own closing, so that way it's personal to you. It's got your name on it, your branding on it, and also it's got your spin on things, because not everybody speaks the same way, and if it doesn't sound congruent with the rest of your mailing, then people aren't dumb. They're going to know it's not you that's sending the email. It's just to swipe. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover on the autoresponder and lead capture system. As I said, the lead capture system is specific to Now Lifestyle, and the autoresponder is standalone. You can use it for Now Lifestyle, and probably it's advisable to do that, because then you're creating lists within the autoresponder. But if you've got people that you're trying to target that are just going to be Now Lifestyle, so your customers, for example, it's an ideal place to have your customers in the lead capture system, because then you're not using autoresponder for customers. But having said that, customers still, could potentially be a person who's buying auto insurance from you or what have you. So your autoresponder is where your list is, and the list is where your money is. So you really want, if you're going to be an email marketer as opposed to a reseller of Now Lifestyle, that's where you want your people. If you're going to focus entirely 100% on Now Lifestyle and you don't want to monetize your list, then the lead capture system is perfect for that. And when that's full, move over to the autoresponder, and that way you're getting 5,000 leads here and 5,000 leads here. And that's pretty much it. And other than that, take care. Have a great day, night, morning, wherever you happen to be, wherever you are when you happen to be watching this. And look forward to seeing you at the top of the mountain, as Daniel would say, and hopefully on one of the retreats. Have a good one. Take care now.